Welcome to Asana and meditation class with me, Chris. All right, well, today we're going to have a grounding class. We're going to do forward bends, have a meditation, and close with a restorative pose. So let's start. Begin with your spine uplifted. Get your shoulders relaxed, hips relaxed, and take a few deep breaths just to start out. Just settle in, feel yourself settling into your body. Just feel your breath. Okay, and let's begin now with our chant. We'll chant the sound Om and the Sahana Bhavatu mantra to begin our practice. If you would, please take a nice deep breath in. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvisha Vahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And softly bow, head to heart. Okay, so like I told you, we're going to have a calming, grounding practice, and we'll do forward bends. But to start out, we'll warm up the legs by doing a laying down supine stretch for the legs. So please, you'll need a block today and a strap. And then for later, we'll use a bolster as well. So, supta padangusthasana. Here we go. So lay down on your back. This is a great way to warm up the legs. I do this often when I start out my morning practice. So lay down on your back. Go ahead and loop your right leg with a block just outside your right hip. And go ahead, relax your spine, relax your head. Breathe. Reach gently up through the length of the right leg and have the block right there outside the hip. Take several breaths just to relax into it. Maybe you're starting out your morning with this practice, and if you are, just settle into your body, stretch gently. And then while you're holding the strap, we're going to go right into it and open the leg out. So opening the leg out so the leg is out on the block, the outer thigh bone. Press out through the right leg, so now perhaps stretching the inseam of the leg. And take some sweet breaths here, feeling the body. Stay with it. One more breath cycle here. Okay, and then help that leg up by pulling it with the strap. And unloop the right foot. Let's go right into the second side. Warming up the hamstrings as we're about to dive into a good forward fold practice, seated forward fold practice. So here warming up the hamstrings, laying down a little easier on the lumbar spine, laying down, stretching. So let's extend the left leg up into the strap, the right leg out on the floor. You can glance to make sure the leg is in line with your hip. Breathe into it. Feel it with the leg straight up at first. You can open the toes of the uplifted leg. Just starting to activate some energy, some muscles through the leg. Another breath cycle here. And then like we did on the first side, let's open that outer leg bone right out onto the block. So stretch the inseam of the leg, As you open the leg out, breathe into it. With the block there, that just prevents the hip from rising up on the right side as you stretch the left. Brings a little balance to the sacroiliac joint too, so not putting too much pressure or stress on the joint. Stay with it, please. One more breath here. Nice big stretch out through the inseam of the leg. Okay, and then we'll bring the leg back up, stretching the leg and unstrap. You can bend your knees. Let's just go ahead and take the blocks to the side for a moment. Lift your knees up. Breathe or roll gently from side to side on your back. Okay, good. And then let's just roll over to one side and help you up. Help yourself up. Here we go. We're going to go into a seated forward fold practice right here. And we'll start out. I'm going to use one blanket. I suggest you do two. And we'll do Janu Sirsasana as our first forward bend. So I'll have you extend. You can go ahead and extend your right leg out with your left leg bent. Now, for some of you that are a little tighter in your hamstrings, please use your strap. Otherwise, just holding the foot with your hand will do great. With your right fingertips down, lift your left arm up, inhale, and exhale. We'll come forward and hold the foot with the left arm, left hand. Now I'm using the back right hand to just deepen the twist. So pushing the hand down, turning the belly. Avoid turning your head. Let's just look straight ahead so we, focus the twist there in the lower mid back instead of bringing it up to the cervical spine. Lengthen the heart forward. Breathe into it. Then once you're there, you can bring both hands onto either side of the foot. And again, extend the heart out. And I invite you to close down your eyes here. Even though you're active within the pose, lengthening the torso, let's turn the gaze in, chin comes down a bit. You can float the elbows out. Steady here with your spine lengthening. Take another breath like this. Keeping the spine long instead of there's a tendency to round the back. Let's keep the torso long. All right, and then to come out, let's use both hands. So walk your hands in, just lift the torso up so we don't have the leg muscles to help us upright, so we'll use the hands a little bit more. Let's just change sides. So go ahead and bend your right leg, extend your left leg. Again, we'll bring the left fingertips by the left hip, stretch the right arm up, get on up there, reach up, breathe in, and then exhale, and we'll touch the left foot with the right hand. Now your left fingertips, again, help the twist. So when I push down, I'm pulling that same side back as I bring the opposite right kidney forward. A little inner body turn there, and then both hands can come forward. Again, float the heart forward, breathe into it. Getting deep into the hamstrings. Again, allow the chin to come down, the eyes close down, turn inward. It's nice to have a forward bend practice, just to change it up a bit, calm the mind, gently open the body. Especially as we heat up in these, and when it gets to be brighter, longer, it's just quieting for the mind. Keep gently reaching the heart forward towards the toes. And then we'll come out of it again by walking the hands up either side of the leg. There we go. And then we'll come into our next forward bend posture. we're going to come into Upavista Konasana. So as we do Upavista Konasana, we're going to go ahead and have the legs nice and open. And again, I'm going to invite you to sit up on a blanket. Now, some of you may have tight hamstrings, and I'm going to invite you to bend your knees a bit. Now, if you only have one blanket, right, as you're practicing, use it under your hips so you can get that pelvic tilt, right? So that'll help a little bit more than sitting low and having your knees lifted. Now, if you have the opportunity to have blankets under the knees or even rolled towels under the knees if your hamstrings are super tight, you can go ahead and do that. That'll feel probably a little better. Okay, and then from here, we're going to take the hands forward. And here I invite you to just extend the arms out. Let's focus on the breath. It's easy to get caught up with trying to get the, chest to the floor or the head to the floor. Let's just take it just, a third of the way there perhaps. Use the arms for support. So although my hands are down, I'm using my hands to gently pull the heart forward. Keep the toes pointing up. Activate the thigh muscles so the quads draw up as the spine lifts out of the hips. If you have a little more space in your hamstrings, you could walk the hands a little more forward. And again, feel the lift of the torso out from the hips, reaching through the heart and head. And balance the pose by coming deep into the breath. And if your breath is at all inhibited by the intensity of the posture, I invite you to back off just a bit. Okay, and then we're going to come out again by walking the hands in. And this time we're going to frame. Let's go over to the left side first. So frame, and here I'm keeping the right leg extended as I turn the torso towards the left leg, and I'm going to keep my left hand out, reach the right hand towards the foot. And again, if you're a little tighter in the legs, you might not have this range. So breathe. I'm feeling this quite a bit. I went on a run this morning, so my legs are feeling this stretch. So breathe into it. Again, not about getting the head to the knee or the shin. Let's just go ahead and gently turn. Breathe, stretch gently. Invite you to extend the heart forward. Close down your eyes. Enjoy a few breaths here. And if you have the balance and the range, you could take both hands on the foot. And then we'll walk up either side of the leg, just like this. Come to center for a moment. Then we'll turn to the other side. So we'll frame the leg, turn the belly gently over the right knee. Let's take the left hand to the right foot. Breathe, turning. It's fine for the hand to stay right outside the leg. This is Parshva Upavista Konasana. Stay with it. Okay, and then again, use your hands. Walk in on either side of the leg to lift you upright. Okay, good. Now we're going to bring the soles of the feet together. And when we have our soles of feet together in badhakonasana, please hold your ankles at first. So in this pose, we're going to hold the ankles and help lift the torso upright by pulling on the outer ankles. The heels, the outer heels can lift a bit. The heels push together and you can broaden open the inner thighs. Lift the heart. Breathe. We're going to just breathe like this for a few breaths. So I'm pulling gently. Shoulders draw back. Spine lifts up. Lowering the chin. Breathe Ujjayi breath in and out through the nose. Okay, now from here I'm going to have you reach and hold the outsides of the feet. We're going to lean back for a moment. I'm going to have you just lift your right leg up. So just balancing here on with one foot down, one leg lifted. The inner legs are still opening. And then we'll take the right leg down and lift the left leg up. So I'm still holding the heel towards the inner thigh. And then we'll take both heels up and lift your torso. Feel the core activating to help lift the spine. Then we're going to take one leg out. One leg stays in. Lift the heart. Playing with some balance here on the hips. And then bend the one leg. Open the other. Again, playing with some balance. If you need to touch down like I did, go for it. And then here, opening both legs out. Holding the outer edges of the feet. Lift your heart. Breathe into it, stretch. That's it. One more breath here. Good, and then we'll come back to badhakonasana. So soles of the feet together. Now here, I'm just going to scooch my sitting bones slightly back to open the inseams of the legs. You can hold the ankles, but gently. So not pulling so much up on them. Just hold them gently. Open the inseams of the legs. Feel it. Pushing the heels towards one another and opening the inner thighs out. Keep lifting the torso. Breathe. Breathe. Okay. Good. Now from here, we're going to come into a squatted position. So just to release the hips and low back a bit. So in my squatted position, it looks like I'm sitting on a blanket, but I'm not. So inseams go back, elbows, forearms inside, upper arms, inside the knees. I'm going to do a little twist here. So at first, I'm just having the palms together, centering myself, feeling the soles of the feet. Inner thighs move back just a bit. Lumbar just draws up. I'm going to take the right hand so the palm is down and the left arm opens out. So this arm, right arm and inner leg hug towards each other as I turn gently open. That's it. That's it. One more breath. Good. Then we go to the other side. So left hand down, knee and upper arm move towards each other. So that connection, that pressure helps allow me to open. So I'm holding on with the upper arm and inner thigh as I open outward. Keep breathing and lengthening. Even though the hips are down, I'm lifting from the core up. One more breath here. Okay. Good. Now we're going to throw in a playful pose here, and we'll do bakasana. So here in bakasana, I'm going to place a block down. So here I am into that squat position, but my heels are lifted, right? And then with the block down in front of me, we're going to do bakasana. You can keep your head on the block. I'll show you this pose with a head on the block. And then we'll lift one leg and then the other. And then finally lift the head. So in bakasana, place the hands. We'll lift the hips up so that we can
Move the sitting bones back and get the upper arms inside the upper inner knees. I'm lifting to my tippy toes, placing the head down, and then I lift one leg and then the other. So both legs and then head, core, flex the feet, bakasana. Then lower. If you want, we'll try it again. Head down, one foot up, other foot, lift the head, core, breathe. And release. Okay, good. Now from here, we're going to do another pose. This one is Parvrita Janusirsasana. So let's start out and bend the right leg and open the left. We're going to use a block inside the knee. And we'll do this in stages. So here we go. We're going to take left hand to right knee. Let's give a little twist here. Feel the breath. That's it. A little lift, like a royal lift in the heart. Fingertips back just a bit. Okay. Now from here, let's take this left hand to the forearms on the block. Take the right hand on the belly. We'll sweep the right hand. All right, so we're opening up here. And then take the right hand behind your head. Hold your imaginary ponytail. Lean into that with the head. And then stretch right arm over the side. And from that outer right hip, so reach. Now some of you might not need this block, and you could take your forearm down and hook your fingers underneath your ankle. Twist and breathe. Lengthen. Look through the inner arm towards the sky. Okay, look down. We'll use the arms. Again, walk in. Let's change sides. Right leg extends, left knee bends. Let's take the block inside the knee at first. Okay? And then we'll come into our royal twist. So right hand to left thigh, right by the knee. Left hand back. Let's lift the chest. Nice and broad through the chest and heart center. Breathe. Now as I'm holding this knee, I'm leaning in a way away from the knee. Okay, and then I'm going to right forearm on the block inside the knee. Left palm sweeps on the belly. Sweeping the belly out to open that outer hip. Take your hand behind your head. Lean back. Yeah, so you pull that ponytail back. And then reach the arm over the side of the head. Now the idea is this right side, you want to lengthen and bring it closer to the thigh. Now, again, those of you that don't need the block don't have to use it. Those of you that it helps, please stay with it. Just showing both variations. Now here again, I'm lengthening my right side over the right leg while turning my gaze up, reaching through the crown, stretching over, breathe into it. Try to stay rooted through your outer left hip as you stretch that side. Good, and then to release, we're going to look down. So we turn the torso down, a little easier on the back. Unhook, bring the hands in, walk in. Okay, let's take a few breaths in seated posture. Just to ground and center.
Okay, another couple breaths here. Just settle in. Okay, next seated pose is Ardha Matsyendrasana. So we bend the right knee with the knee pointing forward. Step your left foot outside the knee. Let's just shift the hips slightly. With the right hand, hold your left knee, bring the left fingertips back. So I'm just using a little leverage here as I pull on the knee, simultaneously pushing the knee to the hand, and twist the belly, mid-back. Now, those of you that have a little more range, you could lift the arm, lift the right arm, cross the right elbow over, and we'll twist. Now be mindful not to lead with your gaze back. So I'm looking forward at first, opening the left shoulder back. And then lastly, I'm going to turn my gaze because I don't want the cervical spine to take all of the twist. And then steady yourself right from the hips to the crown, center, and sweep up and down as you breathe along the spine. And we'll unwind. The deep twists do put a little resistance into the breath. This is normal. To change sides, you can open and then step right over. Right leg over the left. I'm just taking with my left hand, the right knee, and then I'll turn through the belly, kind of lean back just a bit to turn that belly. And then here, this is a great position for those of you that this is your max range as far as your chest and shoulders go. Now, those of you that want to go a little deeper, you can lift your left arm, cross the elbow over, and then again, instead of looking back, look forward for a moment. And then we'll slowly, like the head follows instead of leads, look back. We'll unwind back to center. Uncross. Now, we're gonna take a downward dog just to extend the spine out all the way and get some openness in the back. I invite you to just bend your knees. Let's get some release in the sitting bones. So heart can melt down. We just get into the shoulders a bit. Heart melts down. Sitting bones lift up and then just ground through the heels. Keeping the sitting bones lifted. Just open up the back like this. Take a nice downward dog. A few more breaths here. Enjoy it as you like. Okay, and then we're going to release. Let's take a few breaths in child's pose. Okay, great. We are ready now for our seated practice. I'm going to invite you to get comfortable. Settle in for about a 10-minute meditation. Okay, here we are. Here's our meditation portion of the asana and meditation class. Please get comfortable. Let your hips settle. Let your hands settle. Let your breath settle. and let your mind settle. To help calm your mind, I invite you to rest your mind, rest your attention on your breath. So just breathe a relaxed, easy, natural breath. And allow your attention to rest on the full inhalation and exhalation. And just continue to settle. As best you're able, just follow your breath. And not if, but when you do become distracted, just bring your attention back. Just coax your attention back to being aware of your breath. Perhaps notice where you feel the breath most prominently. Is it in your chest, your belly, your nose, your nostrils? Focus specifically on where you actually feel the breath, where you feel it the most. And as you're able, just rest in that particular place. So honing in just a bit more. Feel the sensations of your breath in a particular area. Stay with it. Just simply relax your attention. Even as you're focusing on your breath, be relaxed. Instead of waiting for the breath, just to relax, lean back and let the breath come to you. Instead of reaching your mind towards the breath. And feel free to keep your eyes relaxed, closed. And with the eyes relaxed, closed, just see the vastness here, even behind the closed eyes. Let your gaze be broad. Breath relaxed. With a broad gaze. Now, seated in this relaxed position, I invite you to open up your awareness. So not honed in onto the breath or upon your gaze, but allow your awareness to just relax open. So not blocking or pushing anything away. Just relaxed, open presence. Just relax, open. Okay. Very good. Just gently join your palms together. Turn your gaze inward and just softly bow. Good. And then we're going to close with a restorative pose. So for this restorative pose, we'll use a bolster, and
2 blocks, a blanket as well. This is called supta badhakonasana. So this is to totally release and help calm the body, the mind, and also help balance our practice. So we'll use a bolster like this with a block at one end and the bolster tilted up on the block. And then a blanket, I like to do a trifold. So a blanket as a cushion for your head to balance out the lumbar spine as I typically instruct. And then we're going to use another blanket for underneath the legs. And this blanket you're going to roll it like this. And we'll just use one block. And we're going to take the hips right up against that bolster. So here we are, putting the soles of the feet together. Put the blanket over the ankles and around the outer hips, so tucked in there. So it's a little bit of a longer roll, so it gets in there on the sides of the hips. And then we're going to just rest back. Rest back. With some nice support for the head. So legs open, arms open, head supported. So your chin should be coming down a bit. Arms open and relax. And again, adjust. If you need a little something to cover your legs or hips, I invite you to take that. And soften back. Allow yourself to go here. Heart open, arms open, head supported, spine supported. Give in here. So a nice deep rest. Give yourself this rest. And we'll be like this for a good 5 minutes or so. So settle back. Relax in your cheeks and your jaw, in your forehead and your neck, shoulders, all the way down through your belly and hips. Just give yourself this space and time to deeply relax. Just rest. Let your belly breath just be relaxed and easy.
That's it. Just allow yourself to settle back and relax. Just let your body be held by the bolster, by the ground, the blanket. Okay, very good. Slowly awaken. And go ahead and move your fingers and toes. You can lift your knees, stretch out your legs, move your ankles. Take a deep breath, let it go. And slowly bend your knees, roll over. Take a moment just in a seated position, just to close our practice together. So, seated here, just rest your hands, find your breath, breathe up and down your spine. And then as you're ready, bring your hands, palms together. I hope this practice supports your well-being. Let's close together. We'll chant. Take a breath in. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Thank you.